Hey, what's up, guys? In this video, I'm going to be engaging in a bit of a show and tell. I'm going to be talking about that time that I made an album in less than a day while sleep deprived and on combustible plant material devices. And the reason why I wanted to kind of make an album in less than a day is my distributor had a deadline of Thursday, and I wanted to get it out there. So this entire album was made, and the artwork and everything, and submitted in a night before the deadline. And it was just kind of one of these free form things. It was kind of like one of these concept things where I just kind of just shed all inhibitions and just did stuff. And I did it under an alias named Reinfect. And it's on Spotify for those that want to check it out. The artwork was done in in that night as well, and it's for those interested, it's the Plastic Man blotter acid pattern, and the Jägermeister logo. I don't know why that seemed like a good idea, but that's basically what occurred. And yeah, there were 7 tracks named sequentially, 1 gram through 7, just because I didn't want to focus on, names and that sort of thing. And yeah, they're just kind of weird little tracks, and we're going to kind of go through them. So there's a couple, I guess, things to consider. Some of the samples are missing, which is no big deal. This was done before. Kind of Ableton was really good at consolidating everything into the file. They're good at that now. But it's like, I'm not, disappointed that I lost everything. A lot of these are just kind of simple ideas, kind of rushed, but not really. And the idea was like minimalism in free form. So 1 gram. So this is what it sounds like. I'll just hit play here. Right, and it's just basic stuff right here. And I want to start off with a little bit of story time. This is the point in time when I was kind of getting into watching speedrunning of Ocarina of Time, and I was made aware that the earlier versions of the cartridge were faster. Well, not so much that they're faster, that there's more bugs and glitches that you can exploit to be faster. So yeah, I guess the first versions of the carts are faster, but they removed references in that game, and they changed the Fire Temple music, and I kind of was just, I guess, enchanted in the Fire Temple music of the cartridge that I played growing up. And, the landscape is a little bit different now, and I wouldn't do this today because, it could be culturally insensitive. But, you know, let's just, I don't even know how to phrase this. There was no intent to, uh, um, there was no intent. No one was really aware of why it was removed until years later, and it's the sample of that is used in this track, Zelda Ocarina of Time, Fire Temple chanting version, and I just used it because it sounded cool, and I had the file on my hard drive, and it's something that I was enchanted with as a young lad playing. So yeah, there it is. So I'll just play that now. Jeez. See, there's a sample in question. Right, that's basically it. So what I used, Silent One is disabled. I can't be bothered to install it right now because I just switched everything over. Because it was a simple kind of sweep, EQ'd, crash, and I was using a lot of like really like punchy kicks back then, and subs as well. I'll just turn it down just a tiny bit. So a lot of it was, sample based, and I'm not gonna shy away from that fact. All right, so I was making like these really neat grooves. I felt that they were neat, and the idea was like strip it down, minimal, you got to do this in less time. So like, kind of like less is more, but like polish what you have. And you can see that all the compressors are the old ones. I need to upgrade them. But yeah, and then I have this particular loop which I really enjoyed. And what did I do back then? Did I? Okay, so I did a technique. I guess you'd call it a technique back then, where I would draw in the compression. This is before LFO tool, I believe. Um, but in this particular instance, I had actual sidechain compression. And I got my claps here. And then I have, I guess, this one. Oh, yeah, so over here, you can see that I actually drew in the sidechain compression here. You can see it in the automation if I turn it on. Oops. Whoa. Got all confused there. So this is the automation that I would use. I would actually draw it in back then. And I had them color coded, so this one would have no, I guess, ducking. And I'd have, I would just modulate or automate the decay time for this thing. And it's pretty loud. What did I used to have on there? Ozone 5 and Vintage Warmer 2. And I had a little bit of a master bus here. Always EQ, reverb, and ping pong delay. Nowadays, I have ping pong delay switched over before the reverb. I guess it's just one of those things that you kind of learn. But yeah, it's basically Gram 1. And as I moved on, things got more and more interesting. And so I'll just open up Gram 2. And we're missing some things, but that's okay. Let's click here to see if we can get any of the missing files to show up. 4 candidate found, everything was replaced. So yeah, we have everything in this one besides, oh no, we do. So this one is, I could just play this one and don't even need to play the thing. Oh yeah, so that one right there, that sound right there is pretty cool. This is kind of like a granular thing. Pretty neat. Which one's that? I think I would start with like a germ of an idea. And then I really like the 808 snares. You can see that there with the arpeggiator and the pitch. I guess I moved around. I don't want to spoil it. But yeah. Right, you can tell that was a little bit interesting. So this is a plane sound. I really enjoyed that, and it's really trippy. I just really like the trip out aspect of this. Right, so I have the snare and the auto filter opening up, and it's just simple automation, weird sounds, and yeah, this is before I started this channel. I made this before I started this channel, and you can tell I was just a freaking stoner. Oh, and I pitched it up too. Just simple stuff. And yeah, that is gram number 2. Let's get gram number 3 open here. Let's see what we got. So a lot of 808 and 909 stuff. A lot of unconventional kind of sound effects and loop-based stuff. basically it. Let's see. Open the missing files here. Usually I have, yep, usually I still have all these files. So this one's all here as well. Yeah, this one, I guess it was more of a, I wanted something a little bit more interesting and more upbeat here. Oh, this is something interesting. Okay, this is a anti-Brent artifact here. What I would do is I would add the auto filter and I would bump the low end, and this would add a bit of bass that I really enjoyed. And what this is basically tape bump. And I would always have this in. I wouldn't have it doing anything else. Basically, just a way to like add bass. And this is something that I used to do all the time in here. Let me just check. Are these? Yeah, the EQs aren't oversampled by default anymore. This is before they had the overhauled EQ, so it might sound a little bit different. Who knows though? But yeah, this is Gram 3. Basic effects, panning. Yeah, I panned a lot. Well, a little bit. Yeah, and those rides, techno rides, I use that a lot. Yeah, just yep, punchy, fun, whatever. And this is gram number 3. Let's try gram number 4. We're moving along here. I have a cold, by the way. Yeah, I use a lot of vintage warmer. I use vintage warmer on everything because a mentor said you got to put vintage warmer on everything, bro. And I was like, okay, this might be, yeah, this is probably another like stripped down one. I just use the TR-808. You can get this pack anywhere online. Vintage machines, 24-bit, whatever that means. But yeah, you can get these vintage machines, these samples, and I use them quite a bit. And yeah, they just sounded really neat. And it was just like stripped down. I guess, yeah, I keep on saying stripped down, but that was basically the philosophy that I followed. Very tonal kick. Yeah, so that was a bass loop that I chopped up a little bit. And then what's this? Yamaha. Love that reverb. I love the just adding compression and just leaving the ratio and the attack and release on default. That's kind of before I knew what was going on now. And this one right here. Because that is sampled from the Matrix movie right at the end where he's on the phone. I can feel you now. That's what he said, but it's like granulized and then pitched up, and that's basically what's going on there with a little bit of reverb and a bump, I guess, and sidechain. I think half of this album was made with monitors and half was with speakers, or not, headphones. And yeah, that's gram number 4. We're moving along quick. Gram number 5 coming up. And yeah, so this one has Silent 1 in it. And what I can do is I'm not going to have the freeze sample available. So actually, I'll just play, what do we got, gram 5. Okay, it's loading. So I don't know, I think oh, is this, oh, Genesis. So this is a VST that was made, that was like, it changed everyone got really excited about this VST. And, there's the Genesis VST, and then there's Genesis VST 2, which has been in development for like 10 years and has yet to be released. Yeah, it was a preset from that. And I don't think you can get it anymore. I don't even think it works on modern machines. You need like Windows XP or something. All right, so that's the basic gist of it. Do I have that sound? Guys, this is the X for Records sample pack, which they should really make another one. That'd be awesome. Yep, X for Records clap, and then, like sampled white noise with sidechain. Nothing too crazy. And yeah, I guess I froze Genesis CN1. Maybe it was crashing, or I just didn't want to be bothered, so I just committed it to audio. I don't know. Anyways, it's weird that it didn't include itself in the project file, but that's okay. So that's gram number 5. We're moving along quick here. You won't believe gram number 6. I have to blow my nose. Yeah, this one also includes Silence 1. What's this one? All right, so let's give that a play in the actual wave file that was rendered out. Oh, so I guess it was that percussive kind of preset on Silence 1, I guess? I don't know. And maybe a little bit of a synthy thing going on here. But basically, yeah, X for Records kick, and then another kick. So what I'd do is I would kind of layer them. Let's see what I did. Oh yeah, I'd use the other one as an off bass. Right, so like the tonal kicks would kind of double as a bass as well. Little trick. And I didn't do that bump or whatever, but that's okay. And then, yeah, I guess this was frozen, so it was affected. And then there's that. And then, yeah, that's basically it. And now I'd have just EQ, ping pong delay, vintage warmer, and ozone 5. That's basically it. Okay, so final one, 7 grams. This one is like probably the best one, in my opinion. And Tasman 4, I don't know what that one is. Doesn't matter. And yeah, here she is. This one is when, I guess, flow, sleep deprivation, and a bunch of other stuff took over. So using a Focyon baseline. And just basic kick. And then percussion. I don't know why I'm popping, but that's okay. Essentially, that is it for that. I have just the filter or the cutoff opening. And the automated ducking, something that I used to do all the time. Don't do it so much anymore. There's tools out there that kind of make that a bit more streamlined. But yeah, basically it. And yeah, that is 7 grams. I don't know. It was a strange time in my life, and I think I was kind of working in a kitchen and then coming home and making music all night and then skateboarding to work. It's amazing what you can do in your early 20s, what you can endure. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope you learned stuff. Take care and have a good one.